Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marshall Occurrence rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-psychic all day, anti-Freemason all day, anti-gang stalker all day. So this video right here is going to be about the Americans are becoming like the new Nazis. So that's basically what it is. They're becoming like the new Nazis, and part of it is the gang stalking with the secret societies. These are parts. This is the main part of the community that has made you like the Nazis because you're allowing it to go on. So whether you accept it or don't accept it, your silence has given consent. Okay. That being said, this is why you're getting the repercussions that you're getting. The Freemasons and the other secret societies all are causing you to receive uh, this image, this stigma of being like the new Nazis. That's what it is, and they're going to see the whole global community is starting to see you like this. They're going to see you like this, and that's the bottom line of what it is. You know, who put you in this situation? I would say would be white, white entitled Americans for the most part. The kind that go around and feel entitled to everything in your community. That's who really put you in this situation. That's part of it. You know what I'm saying? Mixed with bad black politics. That's part of it too. Mixed with the police, mixed with a little military. It's a disaster. And now everyone sees you as the antagonist of the community, of the global community. So now what you've done is caused yourselves to be looked at as the new Nazis, which will be basically the catalyst for World War III. America is going to be the catalyst for World War III. I know you didn't see this coming. You didn't see this coming. You thought it was going to be probably like some other people in the Middle East, Iran, Iraq. Nah, It's going to be America because they've already went into gang stalking overload and into the culture where now God is involved. So now God's kingdom is involved, and they're still trying to manipulate. So it's going to turn up more and more and more and more, and they're going to become more evil and more hateful and seen, therefore, as like a Nazi community. So the more hateful they become, the more evil they become, outside communities are going to see them as Nazi-like. Now you see what I'm saying? And the only difference in our community is instead of them being the Germans, they are the white Americans. Instead of Jewish people, it's black people. Now you see what I'm saying? And it's been this way. It's the Nazi. It's just like the Nazi. The Germans were with the Jews. It's the blacks. It's the whites with the blacks. That's how it is. And so they've always been fighting this way, as the Germans fight the Jews, the whites fighting the blacks, and it's just basically a hateful atmosphere as it was with the Nazis and the Jews. It's the same situation. The only difference is it's the whites with the blacks. That's what it is. And some would say they are the Jews. The blacks are the Jews, the Hebrews. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to just say it's similar, it's parallel. All right. And the turn up is gonna be real. You know what I'm saying? We're getting it done. You know what I'm saying? All we ask is that you understand what's going on. Don't come over here with silliness. You know what I'm saying? And expect not to be defeated. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to know the real story, you want to know what happened, the Freemasons gang stalked your community and caused this liability for you. That's what happened. The Freemasons, the other secret societies, they wanted their little 15 minutes of fame, and they caused problems in your community. You didn't do anything about it, and God did something about it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I give him the praise. I don't give America no praise. You didn't do anything about it. All you're here for is the show. and we're not breaking, we're not folding. That's not happening. What's happening is uh, we're being proactive about handling the problem that you didn't handle in your community. You did not handle this situation. You know what I'm saying? We have to handle it. You know what I mean? And when we handle it, unfortunately, we have to consider all the gang stalkers that utilized your community. See, what they did was the reason why you as the American community are being fought by the kingdom of God is because you was utilized. You were utilized as a community in the hands of the gang stalkers. Whether you want to accept it or not, you were utilized. Okay, which means they used you for their purposes. So how is it that you think as the American community, you're utilized as this big gigantic weapon in the hands of Freemasons? They used you. It wasn't all Freemasons. They used your community. Okay? And you know this. So don't act like you don't know. Okay, so then how you expect not to be part of the liability? You expect us to just come back just to the Freemasons, but you've also been a weapon in their hands, taking their money and all of that. And you know you've been doing that. You've been taking their money and you've been taking their gift cards. I already received intelligence. Man, God, listen, God ain't gonna have me ignorant, bro. I already know. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is when we turn up on this next level, because it's gonna be a hot summer, buddy. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a real hot summer for y'all. And when it turns up the way it does, listen, don't blame me. Okay? All I'm saying is, man, pay attention. Your country has become a Nazi country, and what they will deceive you as and say, oh, well, he's against our country. Well, the first thing in war is to find out, listen, this is one thing you won't learn or know as a civilian. First thing to understand is who was the antagonist? Who initiated the situation? They did. Okay, so how I initiate something against Freemasons? Did I bomb one of their lodges? Did I do something to bomb one of these so-called secret societies? How did we find a secret society to bomb? How did we find a secret society to bother? How did I find it? Have you ever seen me on a Masonic grounds or site? Have you ever seen me at a lodge? Did you ever see me on the property of one? You didn't, did you? Okay, so explain to me how I initiated anything. Remind you, 1 million people hate Masons. 1 million people hate the Illuminati. You can't stop that. So if you chose to fight me based on hate, then you chose to select me, which means you initiated it. Well, I said nothing differently than what everybody else says about you. We find you somehow are mixed up in a lot of things in our community. It's easy for any American to hate you based on information that's put out about you. This you already know. This you already know. So it's not that I said something abnormal or I had a hate that was abnormal. You chose based on information, false information, to fight against me. You chose to select me out the bunch. And that means you initiated it, basically. That's what it was. So take responsibility. Freemasons initiated it. We finished it. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit up and play games like somebody was terrorizing you and terrorizing your community. The Freemasons used your community as a big weapon in their hands to play games with me, to chase me all around and run me all around. And then when God pulled up and they got COVID-19 and all these things started to happen to them, then they realized, oh, we've been attacked. It's a little too late for that. You chose to play games like Walt Disney, like you Mickey Mouse with the community, and you lost. We cut your nose off. Okay? We cut your ears off. If you was Mickey Mouse, we cut your ears off. And listen, ain't nobody's fault but yours, bro. You shouldn't have played with your community like that. This ain't Mickey Mouse. This ain't no carnival. And if anybody even scratch me, I promise you, all of this goes away, bro. What you call America, because there's no reason. What you got to understand is America is already in debt with God, period. You got 50 states of gay marriage. Boom. God doesn't play with no games about no laws, no gay laws. Okay? No gay marriage laws. You got gay marriage in all 50 states. It's no games being played with that. You're already in liability town, buddy. You already got liabilities, spiritual liabilities. All you need to do is keep playing with God's people, and it's turn up time, bro. And I'm telling you, this next turn up is going to be worse than anything you've ever seen in humanity. Okay? Because what you got to remember is this. Whether you want to accept it or not, the New World Order, America has to fall for that to happen. Boom. Oh, you so stupid. You so smart, you're stupid. You forgot about that, didn't you? Well, how is America going to be standing while there's a whole new world order over there? Think about it. So in order for it to be a new world order, there has to be a one world government, right? Okay, so you think America is just going to hand over its sovereignty to join a one world government, where all these crazy Southern rednecks and Republicans are going to give over their sovereignty to a one world government and be equal with the whole world? You think America is going to make themselves equal with the whole world? So that means America has to fall either way it goes. It's inevitable. They have to fall before it be a new world order, buddy. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I've been meaning to say that to you. I'm going to do a video about it. So this is inevitable. That's why it's happening. It's going to happen either way it goes. Because you're going to be so desperate as a community, you're going to have to rely on a one world government. Now you see where we're going. All the secret societies was catalysts for it all to happen. Now you see why they're doing it. Because it's a catalyst for them to go towards the new world order. Yeah. So the fall of America is inevitable because, like I've said before, I've said this in videos before, they're not going to just give over their sovereignty, their power, authority over the world to be equal with everybody, just for no reason. Well, we just decide we're going to be equal with everybody. We're going to just build a one world government. All these Americans, you think are going to give up their power over the world to just be one world? So what does that tell you? It's going to fall. America is going to fall, and out of that desperation, they're going to join a one world government. Now you see. That means something real bad is going to happen. Real bad. I'm talking about very bad. Like everybody without work bad. Because it's no way you can tell me America is just going to join, whether it's in the name of evil, in the name of a secret society, in the name of whatever. You're not going to have all these Republicans and all these Texans and all these Floridians give up their sovereignty to join other countries. They're not going to do it. That's going to be the resistance, is white Republican Southern people. They're not going to give up their sovereignty to join a one world government. Think about it. They're not going to do it. So what has to happen for that to happen? America has to fall, whether you like it or not. And this is the part the preachers don't tell you. Oh yeah, it's going to be a one world order. The fact, if it is going to be, America has to fall and lose its power. That's how you know I'm a prophet of God, bro. When the preacher ain't telling you that part, are they? They're not telling you that America has to lose its power in order for them to feel the need to join a one world government. They're not telling you that, are they? What preacher telling you that like that? They can tell you all joining it and all of that, but they're not telling you how America's going to what's going to have to happen to America for them to join a one world government. They're not just going to do it saying, well, we're just going to bow down to this man and they're on top of the world. They're already the superpower of the world. Why would they submit their power to a one world government? Think about it. So that tells you right there It's inevitable that they have to fall. You're fighting a feeling. You're fighting a feeling, like I like to say. You're fighting a feeling. This is a result of, this is how wise God is. He knew everything that was going to happen. You know what I mean? You know, you set up and you play with society, you know, now you got to fall. And what that means, you know what that means? It's going to be worse than COVID. It's going to be worse than all of that. It's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be crucial, bro. It's going to be, listen, it's going to be something, it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen in your life, man. Because that's what it's going to take for all these Southern Republicans to give up their sovereignty, their power in the world, to join all these other countries who they feel are beneath them, who they are racist even towards, probably. They're probably racist towards all these other races of people, all these other different countries. You think they want to intermingle with them and make a government with them? So that shows you how desperate America is going to be, which tells you everything you need to know. They're going to receive some type of destruction. I can't tell you what it is. I haven't received that information from the Lord, but it's going to be some type of destruction for them to give over their power to a whole world government. So when you talk about the New World Order, when you little bastards are walking around talking about 666 and all throwing them sixes up and everything, like you're being cool, just keep in mind, this whole country has to collapse and fall for all of that to happen. You ain't gonna like that, buddy, which means I know you see yourself as surviving, but many of you are not gonna survive. Oh, I know, you left that part out, didn't you? Yeah, some of you ain't gonna make it to the New World Order. Ow. Oh, you thought you was. You thought you'd be there like in a post-apocalyptic world, didn't you? Some of you won't even live to see it. It's gonna be so chaotic before it happens. Half of you will not make it there. Okay? Let's keep that, let's make that facts. So you think everybody gonna survive to get there? Some of y'all are not even gonna make it, including famous people that you love so much. Half of them ain't gonna make it. I know you pictured everybody just making it. So when you talk about 666 and you throw it up like it's something like you're playing a game, keep in mind that shows, you know what that implies in your particular situation? You know what has to happen for that to happen? You as a community has to completely fall as an American community, buddy. Well, think about it. Like I said, how are you going to be standing right here on your own, but here's a one-world government over there? So America's going to stand on its own against the one-world government. It's going to be part of it. The center, some would say. It's going to be part of it, whether you like it or not. A one-world government means a one-world government. It didn't talk about one land over here, but then, all the other countries are already in a place where they're open to be better. Okay? They're already open to it. America is the only resistance, but now it's falling because the evil that you've done has brought you down to where the rest of the world is. You've done evil now on the levels of a third world country. Yeah, that's the problem with doing evil. It brings you down as a people. It brings you down. It brings you down. You can't do evil and expect not evil to happen to you. And your soil, your ground, your very ground you walk on, you expect that soil to be righteous soil. It's evil soil now. It's an evil land. Okay? And now you're going to experience being as a third world country. I know you don't think that's coming, but it is. It has to. You're not going to be seeing politicians, powerful people, the likes of Donald Trump, just giving over their power to a one-world government out of nowhere. They're not going to do it willingly. They have to be brought down to a pathetic level, a real pathetic. Look at how desperate America would have to be. That's all you got to think about. For them to join a one-world government. Look at how desperate they would have to be. That means they would have to have nothing, basically. That's basically it. Am I right or wrong? You didn't consider this part. That's why you know who the prophet is. And see, prophets move all around. Now you see what I'm saying. You see how I'm showing you everything? I'm able to show you everything. This is and look at what these other people are showing you. Nothing. Did they show you that America had to fall for it to be a one world government? That's why I got to do a video about this, and I got to keep talking about it too. Because you don't listen. You got to understand this. You ain't gonna be. It's no way around this. This country is going to fall, bro. It has to happen. Okay. Either way it goes. This is. I'm saying this right now in this video for you to understand. For all you people that's playing this contest and games and all of this, like you 12 years old at some basketball tournament. Listen, bro, this country has to fall regardless. This is an inevitable thing here. You're playing with the world, bro. You're not above God. You're not above the spiritual things. You're not above that. I don't care about your mind reading. You're not above the spiritual world, bro. I'm telling you. So I'm sorry to tell you, it's inevitable. You can fight me. You can fight whoever you want to fight. You're going to fall in order for there to be a one world government. And either you're going to fall for playing with me, a major prophet. And it's either way it goes. It's not. You have no way around this. In other words, bro. That's what I'm trying to show you. That's why your last chance you played with. You played with your last chance, man. You don't go around, listen, you don't go around disappointing God's prophets, man. You don't go around arousing my anger. I know, you think it's fun. You don't go around arousing my anger. That's how I know it's white boys' foolishness. Because black people don't make a habit of arousing anybody's anger. I don't do that. I don't know what you will become. You may become my worst enemy, my worst nightmare, like I became your worst nightmare. You know why that happened to you? Because you sit around and you kept playing with me, bro. You know what I mean? And now look at you. You don't know if you're coming or going as a community, do you? You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know what's going to be. And that's what you get for playing around, buddy. You don't play with no black man like that. I can't speak for other races. I only speak for what I know. You don't play with a black man like that. A black man will sit you down real quick. See what happened to you? Yeah, you don't play around like that, buddy. I'm built for this. My bloodline has the Maasai tribe in it. I'm part of Maasai. That's a famous African tribe. My bloodline is very rich. I'm part of Maasai. Like me, some people know, some Africans know about Maasai. You fight me, I'll fight you to the end, man. And I've already won. You lost Donald Trump. He ain't gonna get into office. You can forget about that. And basically, you have you have no presidents after that. Who you have after that? Joe Biden? In other words, if you had somebody promising, you would have seen them by now. You don't got nobody. That's the truth. You ain't got nobody, buddy. So you already need to realize, man, you're already headed towards a new world order, whether you want to try to save the day or not, bro. You ain't saving no day. Okay? This is what happened when you let fools play with opportunities. This is what happens when you think everything is a game. As a culture, this is what you chose. This is the road you chose, and this is the road you're going to get, buddy. You basically lost your last opportunity to change this country, man. And it ain't going to listen. It ain't nobody's fault but yours. You played with me. Okay, you got to understand this first. Okay, if God does something, it is right or wrong. You can't say God is evil. You can't say God wronged us, right? So even on my side, let's keep in mind, for the spiritually wise, let's keep in mind that anything that does happen from this side, they deserved it. I can't manipulate God. Imagine me manipulating God. I can't manipulate the Lord at all. So if God decided to do it to you, then that means you deserved it. A spiritually wise individual will understand these things. People that don't know no better will sit up like an idiot, a redneck bushwhack idiot, talking about I did something to their country. Okay, did I physically do something to your country? Okay, I didn't physically do anything to your country, did I? Okay, so what are you talking about? Spiritually? Okay, so that would mean I would have to have a source, right? Okay, so I don't serve the devil. Okay, and the devil, if he could have done it to you, he would have been done it to you. You could have had another witch or warlock been done it to you from the black community or in the white community, anywhere. Could have been cursed you for fun. If a witch or warlock could do this to you, then it would have been done. That's what you first got to understand. A witch and warlock is not capable of destruction on this level. If so, they would have been done it. Especially black witches for what you've done to black people. Let's get that understood. Let's get that crystal clear. Okay? So sorcery could not cause this destruction, because if it could have, it would have already been done to you by the black witches and warlocks. They would have got you. They would have been got you. Long time ago, buddy. Long time ago. Some would say before you hit the 1900s, they would have got you. Before you was even sophisticated. Okay, so let's get that understood. Sorcery can't fight on this level, buddy. That's the difference. That's why Satan has a certain amount of power and God has infinite power. You play with God's people. God decided to attack you and you don't want to accept it. That's what it is, bro. Okay, now you can lie to yourself like some little 19-year-old girl crying in denial over her boyfriend. Or you can accept the fact that this is what it is. Okay? Now, it's becoming more like a Nazi community as time goes by. Meaning, it's becoming a catalyst for World War III. It's becoming a catalyst to make other countries feel the need to stop this, particularly America. It's happening, bro. They're starting to see, I know you think it's everybody else, but pay close attention to how other people are starting to think about everything about you. You're becoming the problem. That's what look at everything. You're spying on your allies. You were spying on South Korea. Them humble Asian people. Them humble Koreans. What they gonna do? Oh, I guess you think they're collaborating with the North Koreans. Is that what it is? Yeah. You thought you think you're so you listen, you think you're covering your bases or something, don't you? You think you're looking out for yourself. Look, the article said you was embarrassed for spying on your allies. They spied on their own people. And in fact, it said that it's known in the international community that the Americans spy on their own allies. Everybody knows that. Listen, man, listen. You've used treacherous means to be who you are, and now that time has come to an end. See, what you thought is that you was going to last forever. Make it last forever. No one. America thought they was going to last forever, didn't it? Make it last forever. You thought you was going to last forever, didn't you? I know they showed you them sci-fi movies where everybody was going to get in a gas tank or something and or get frozen and come back and you halfway believed it, didn't you? Oh, come on, let's be real. You halfway believed they was going to get some type of technology where you was going to live forever. Or you was going to be preserved for another time. Tell the truth. It's okay. You thought you was gonna last. Somehow they was gonna create something, didn't you? I'm sorry to tell you. Or you thought you was gonna go into the futuristic world, didn't you? Where everything is futuristic. Sorry to tell you, none of that's gonna happen. It's too greedy of a world for you to have a futuristic world like that anyway from the Americans. Can you imagine them updating the whole world to a futuristic world? They're too stingy. That's never gonna happen. That's what I'm trying to show you. It's all sci-fi. You're not going to that place. Okay? You barely made it through COVID. And look, you can sit here and shut and not listen to a prophet, and it all takes you by surprise. Because look, this has to happen. You played with society for too long. You played with the community like it was okay to do so. And then when evil, now that evil has taken over, now you want to, oh well, we need to get it together. We need to get You shouldn't have played with the community like that, bro. You shouldn't have done it. The last bit of love that you had, it went when you did that. That's it. That was it. You thought you was gonna last forever. You thought you was gonna live, and you thought you was gonna do something else. See, every community comes to three. They go through. Every empire goes through 3 different stages: Genesis, Golden Age, and corruption. There's the Genesis, where it's the beginning, which is bloody usually, because territory is taken and all of that. And then you become civilized, at least it seems. And you go to a golden age where things are lucrative, people are living good and making a lot of money. And this could be for decades. And then you come to corruption, to where now your second president is being indicted. And now you got him on 30 different counts of fraud. This is the president now. He's the top of the whole situation. And now corruption is coming. Corruption is here. So America went from Genesis to Golden Age to corruption. This is what you went through as an empire. And now, when there's corruption, there will be a fall right after that. Every great empire goes through it. It always happens, unfortunately. You rarely ever will find, or has it ever been done, where you have an empire that goes through a Genesis, a Golden Age, and then superiority. They never make it to the next level for whatever reason. America didn't make it to the next level because they was too hung up on race. They was too hung up on black, white, everything in between. So through all that argument and wrestling and all of that, they were ceasing to be great. They wasn't going to the next level. Okay? They were supposed to be way beyond this. Hate, real hate, not the hate you think I got. Real hate held this whole empire back from being the greatest. The reason why America did not fulfill its greatest potential is because of racism and hate. Yep. Because if it had not happened, you would have collaborated and you would have made the African empire and you would have lifted them up and everything, and it would have been just a monopoly of monies, a chain reactions of monies. That's why it didn't happen. Because you was hung up on race. They decided to go with that. You know what I mean? Many people made decisions based on that. So that's why you didn't make it your full potential. You didn't achieve your full potential as a community, because of racism and hate. Okay, so that's where you're at. Okay, now you're in a place of corruption. That's what it is. And if you don't realize this, what you would do is you would sit up and think, oh, the future. Look at the pattern that you've created. Just like Rome, just like any great empire, you created the same pattern, which is the pattern of Genesis, golden age, and corruption. You've created that pattern. Okay, how are you going to go back to a golden age? How are you going to go back to the people thinking the way they should think? Because, like I said this before, there is no vaccination for truly crazy people. I'm talking about truly bugged out. How you gonna vaccinate the mental sick, the crazy people in your community, pushing people on trains? How you gonna vaccinate them? Huh? How? How you gonna vaccinate that? So the only way, and I explain this, that's gonna happen is that you begin to give out more severe punishment for the crimes that people do. See, I have real solutions. But if you don't choose those solutions, you're not going to get the results I'm talking about. Okay? You're not going to. Okay? You're not going to solve crime that's more, and it's more evil than ever, right? It's no way in the world you're going to solve that by sitting up with evil in your society talking about things gonna change. It's like, stop playing. How can it change? How? Explain to me how it's gonna change. The only way it's gonna change is if you offer more severe punishment. And your community is not ready to do that because they're too afraid of offending someone. You're too afraid of what people are gonna think. You're too afraid to say, well, we're making these laws and not care if people think you're stereotyping or targeting people. If you don't make laws where people get 20 years for pushing people on trains, they're going to continue to do it. They're going to continue to do this. I'm telling you, this is what it is. They're going to continue to do it. And you're going to sit up here and talk about, oh, well, I just wish it would change. It's not going to change. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. It's more evil on top of the gang stalking. It's on top of this country looking as a Nazi type of country that is going to be a catalyst for World War III. The biggest problem, the biggest circus alive is America. That's what you're looking like. That's what you're looking like to other people. Okay? And they're going to start to single you out. I know, you've been a superpower for a long time, and everybody bowed down to you for the money reasons and other reasons and protection reasons and military reasons, but not anymore. Now they're starting to see more that you're a problem. This is what the superpowers are starting to look at. China's looking at it this way, and Russia. In reality, bro, how can you really, if you stay pure in mind, right? Pure in mind, right? Non-biased, right? And you just keep it 100. All this killing and stuff, man. All this racism that's never going away. All this is hopeless. Look at all this stuff that's going on. Look at the crazy people, bruh. Look at it for what it is. And what if you was on the outside looking in? You know how you feel like you know what's going on, but look at it on the outside. Look at it from the outside. You didn't live here. You didn't have nothing to do with it. You heard all these things happening on the news that you see. What would you think? Man, that's a crazy place, right? Somebody need to do something about that. That's what I'm saying. That's what everybody's starting to look at. Like, someone needs to step in, right? Which means sooner or later, you're going to be, look at time as it passed by with this too. Think about America becoming worse and worse. Eventually, somebody's going to see the need to step in and do something about it in a military way. And that's basically being caused on themselves. They're causing it on themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? And you can sit up and be biased about it, but the only way you're gonna really see the truth of how other people see you is to not be biased. The only way you're gonna see things for what it is if you're not biased about it. Long as you be biased about it, you're not gonna have the ability to put yourself in other people's perspective. I have the ability to do that. Look at it from how other people see it. They don't know about all this rap music and all of that. All they see is black people killing each other. They don't know about how it's good black people in the hood because they're not here. They're not in your country. All they see is black people killing each other and babies. That's all they see, bro. Now think about it. You're on the outside. You don't know the culture, right? You don't know how it really is. To enough where you could say, well, I know there's good black people even in those neighborhoods. You know that, right? Foreigners do not know that. What they see is a whole bunch of black people going wild, bro. That's what they see. You think you think these older foreigners in other countries like Polish people, you think those old Polish aunties understand about rap music and hip hop and how it's influencing people? Think about it. They don't know nothing about all of that. You do, but they don't though. All they see, which is really most important, is all the killing that black people that were once slaves now killing each other. That's what they're looking at. You understand it. Foreigners do not understand it. So what's going to happen is they're going to look at it like, yo, not knowing all the extra stuff you know. This is out of control. They're becoming the problem in the world. And then they want to come with all this crazy stuff in their community. Then they want to come and still think they control the world. Not to mention the drag queens dancing in front of the children. Now imagine an Iraq country or Iranian, how they see it. You feel me? Imagine how they see it. These Muslims, they watch the news too. And they see drag queens dancing in front of children. They're not thinking about it like you. Like you think, like you don't even halfway understand it. You don't even halfway understand it. You don't even halfway get it, let alone them. So imagine how they feel when they see drag queens butthole everywhere, shaking it all in front of kids and stuff. Imagine how they see that. Muslims now, that's what I'm trying to show you, man. And what they're going to look at is, and hear this part, because of your lack of integrity, just that alone, bro, is going to be a catalyst for them to want to do something to this country. Yeah, mark my words. Listen, all the killing, drag queens dancing in front of children, trannies, going into schools. You think the Muslims don't look at it like that? You don't think Muslims look at the fact that the tranny had to know that it was a Christian school? You don't think much, do you? I love thinking about how other people think. I don't hold it into esteem about myself, but it's good to go into the wiring of how other people think. See, narcissistic people a lot of Americans don't do this. They don't have the ability to do it because they're too narcissistic to do it. Look at how these Muslims looking at that shooting that tranny did. And how they looking at like they're actually targeting Christians. We're not Christian, but look at that. And then, when they find out that it's a tranny gay person, at first we didn't know. But then when they found out, what you think the Muslims are thinking? It's out of control. Even the trannies, these gay people are killing Christians. They're not looking at it like you. You looking at, well, as an American, it might have been some troubled person. Nah. Foreigners are looking at a tranny gay person, a person that thinks they're a man, a woman, going into a Christian, see what I'm saying? A Christian school and killing innocent people. They knew And they're going to at least conclude, like I concluded, that you know that the tranny knew it was a Christian school, the bottom line. And that did hit his part. That did not hold her back, him or her back from doing that, did it? Well, that if you knew it was a Christian school, which you did, you should have been held back from doing it. So then when you went forward knowing you would be killing Christians, right or wrong. After you knew the information, you couldn't unknow the information, right? So at that point, you knew you was moving forward killing Christians. That's the bottom line. I don't care what you listen, you can try to Jedi mind trick and everything, but that's the bottom line. He knew moving forward, he was killing Christians. That's the bottom line. And you can sit up here and try to make excuses, but you're only doing it to make yourself feel better. You're only doing it to make yourself feel like you have this country that would not target Christians. You're only doing it to make gay people look good as well, and not to make them take the true responsibility of doing this, which they need to. It was one of their members. A tranny gets gay support. They go through a lot of programs with a lot of gay pamphlets and talk to a lot of gay people to get to transition. Just to transition alone, you know how many gay people they get counseling from? How isolated people try to make this person to even transition to that level. You know how much gay support this person had? I know what I'm talking about. I've been in gay health clinics and all of that. That person probably talked to 1 million gay people. Right or wrong. Come on now. And received all type of gay support. You know what I'm talking about, dude. So this was a person of the gay community. Because the person was too connected going through transitioning to the gay community to not be gay community. Transitioning connects you to the gay community. You can't be isolated. You feel me? Connected to the gay, you can't be isolated transitioning. You can't be isolated from the gay community transitioning. Nah, it doesn't work like that, buddy. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? And you can sit up here and sugarcoat it and act like it ain't what it is, but that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? This person was connected to the gay community. This person, we seen pictures of that person smiling and all of that. The person we're talking about, it'll make sense and everything later. Like as if killing Christians is what gay people should do. That's what I'm looking at. Like this person is trying to cause some type of trend. You know, so, you know, it was thought out. This person had reasoning. This person had thoughts. This is the part that people go over. This is the part that people do not look at. The person talking about it's all going to make sense in all of this. Yeah, you don't want to look at that part. Okay, so this person was thinking all type of things. Okay, so how's it all going to make sense with killing people? That's what I'm trying to show you, man. Gay people are starting to hate Christians. And you don't want to hear it just like that. They don't want no smoke with Muslims because they know what time it is. Muslims ain't playing no games. Okay? They look, they got their people. They got their people and they ain't gonna play no games. The Americans in general have always thought they can play with Christians. Yeah, it's true. But they don't play with no Muslims. You see these gang stalkers playing with Muslims? Hey, you see these gang stalkers playing with Muslims? You don't, do you? You know, because they know what time it is. You know, eventually, if they go back and forth with Muslims pulling out AK-47s, man. Simple as that, bro. SKSs or AK-47s, one or the other. Okay, so you know they for some reason for years, and I know what it is. It's because it's the docile version of Christians here in America that got them thinking like that. Like they can try us and play with us. You know what I'm saying? But they don't. You notice they don't try any Muslim. They don't try no Muslims like that. That's Americans in general. And gay people are not worried about Muslims and what they doing. They're not worried about it. You already know what they feel. You know they're stronger on their feelings about gay people than Christians. You know they're more stronger on their feelings about gay people than Christians are. That's what I wanted to say. Okay? So, but they don't want that kind of smoke, man, because they already know that Muslims have the tendency to be aggressive. And they don't have no wiggle room. They ain't got that room that you can talk to them and try to. Christians will stand there and talk to you for a little bit. Muslims is not finna do that. A Muslim is hard body when it comes to their beliefs and all of that. They not finna sit there and talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? They're not finna do it. And if you feel like they feel like you're threatening them, then what you think a Muslim gonna do? That's real. That's the difference. That's what I'm trying to show you. And so I can show you another group that don't agree with gay people, but they choose to go like most Americans. This is just a hallmark perspective of Americans. They go with the enemies they think they can be. They don't go, all Americans do it. All of them do it. Black people do it too. They fight each other, but they won't fight the white Americans, the racist white Americans. They won't go out there watch and see what they doing. If you watch all Americans, you watch them closely, they only fight convenient enemies. They will not fight their strongest enemies like I do. I fight my strongest enemies. Whoever wanted to smoke with me, whoever wanted problems, anybody, listen, I fight them head on and I'm winning. That's what real men do. That's what real men do. And we will be further along as a community, not looked at as Nazis if we stood up and fought who the real enemies was in the first place. We fight convenient enemies. That's why no real victories are being won. And like I said, as time goes by, more and more, they're demonizing the whole country. They ain't taking time to see nothing. Not even Christians here, really. They ain't taking time to see no Christians here in America. Do you think they wait? You think these foreigners looking at Christians in the country? With drag queens dancing in front of children. You think they thinking about the Christians? You think they considering the Christians? You think they considering the good, wholesome people in your community that disagrees with that? They're not. They're only going by what's projected on the news. That's what they're going by. And most of the times, that's bad news. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to show you what it is, man. I know what it is. It's just America is becoming a catalyst for World War III. You know what I mean? Which some would say that's basically the new world order. World War III will be. I mean, basically, in essence. You know, but some would say, like I've said, psychologically, World War III already has begun. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of when it becomes physical. That's all it is. You know, psychologically, you know, they're already hacking people's brain. They're hacking bodies like computers. They're already using their technology. The Americans are using their technologies against their enemies here, domestic and international. They're using psychological weapons. I'm well aware of this. I would see, as a Christian, many people think we're dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? They look at us like we don't know what's going on in the world. We're also futuristic. So people don't know this about Christians. We have ancient principles and ancient history, but we're also futuristic and a part of prophecy. We also have prophecies, okay? So we're aware of like a lot of stuff that's going into the future. Like I was already aware of mind technology long time ago. I've been prepared for it. And so that's why it doesn't surprise me that they can use mind technology and they have brains under surveillance. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't freak me out because the Holy Ghost was already preparing me for it. He was already preparing me for it. So I was already ready. So by the time it came on the scene and they began to use it, I referenced back to what I had been talking about, which was mind technology. You can see it on my Facebook. It's on there somewhere. They don't try to put it in my memories. You know how you got memories? I don't never see it in my memories, but it's in there though. Because I remember posting it about mind technologies and everything, and it's here now. That's what they're using. But it's not going to be sufficient to stop spirituality. Spirituality determines whether this altogether goes on. Spirituality can swallow up all of the community. You know what I'm saying? And it's no technology. You know what I'm saying? And so, God has the trump card, which is the earth. If the earth is shut down, the world is gone. I don't care what kind of system you have. If you are shut down as a earth, it's over. If the whole country floods, then who cares about your technology? You can have bunkers, you can have all type of underground worlds and everything. If the earth is defeated and destroyed, then and you have no community on top of that, then what good is technology? You sitting around with a radio with no community. Ow. Okay. Didn't win, buddy. You got technology? Yeah, but you're sitting up here by yourself. Okay? So keep that in mind, guys. All this talks about technology, all can be defeated by a means of God using the trump card, which is the earth, destroying the earth, destroying in ways that we could not even fathom and scientists cannot even get a hold of. Okay? Keep that in absolute mind. With all that technology they got out there, it cannot defeat one stroke of God with his power against the earth. And it's all over. Okay? And that's all you got to know is that God holds the devil may own the world, but God owns the earth. Boom, ow. Well, if you don't have no earth, you have no world. You got to have an earth to have a world. You can have an earth without a world. You had it before. The world is the system, the money systems and all of that. All of that. You can have an earth without the world. They cannot have a world without the earth. All it takes is destroying the earth and it's absolutely over, bro. And this is what keeps man humble, is to realize I can't predict it all. I can't tell you what's all going to happen to the earth. I can't, and also with man, you don't know the free will of man. You don't know what man is going to do from one day to the next. You don't know what wars are going to break out. Scientists can't stop that. They can't do nothing about that. They can try to manipulate as much as they want through the culture, through mind control and different means. But ultimately, man still has free will. Bottom line, buddy. Man still has free will. And it's just ultimately, it's something you can't control. See, what man don't realize is, what the leaders don't realize is that really you can't do nothing about the evil. You can't, what they do is they take away more of our rights to try to control the evil. This is how they work, because they're not spiritual people. So in order to stay on top of the evil, they have to take more of our rights, including our gun rights, for example. Because there's more shootings with the guns and these mass shootings, now they have to make us control us more by taking away our gun rights. You see how it works? That's a perfect example. The more evil, they have to control us more. They have to put us under surveillance and control us more. And this is the only way they can do it, which is sad because look, you can't put us all under surveillance because it's becoming worse and evil. You have to adapt as a community and realize man has free will to do anything he wants to do at any given time. And because he has become evil, unfortunately, he's doing evil. Okay? It's nothing you can do. It's a part of how it is. You can but you can't tell these authorities that, can you? They got to find a way to take away our rights or put us under surveillance because it's becoming more evil. This is how they adapt to it. This is how man without God adapts to the evil. They take away more of our rights. They put us under more surveillance. This is how they're doing it. I'm telling you, this is how they're doing it. Look at it for what it is. Cameras everywhere. Secret agents everywhere. National Guard everywhere. Like we don't know. Yeah, civilians don't know. I'm militant minded. I know. National Guard is everywhere. You know what I mean? And it's just putting us under more surveillance. That's their thing. You know, watching us more, watch us like Minority Report. You remember that movie with Tom Cruise? Went to the point where they was watching people get ready to do crimes. That's basically where the perspective that this country, America, is using, to where you jump into people's houses and trying to stop them from what you think they're gonna do. You know what I mean? And the whole thing is you're not gonna stop it anyway. It's still gonna get done. Evil is going to be done. It's nothing you can do about somebody just randomly going and just doing something. You can't stop that. That's why you need spirituality, so that man does not come to the point of doing evil in your community. Yeah, now you see the need for it. You see the need for messengers and preachers to stop the evil and talk to the people. You're not taking the time to do that. Police ain't doing it. They ain't taking the time to talk to the people. They're not talking, the government's not talking to the people. Only people that take the time out to do this is spiritual people. We are the ones that take time out to talk about these issues. They do not. And once again, proving my point, it's Christians that show you everything about your community. You can say what you want to say. You can say it all. But the bottom line is, it's Christians. It's Christians that's doing the work, the real work to change your community. All these other people just sitting back, man, taking your rights, taking your gun rights, which you need guns. You do. They taking your guns rights, putting you under more surveillance, all of that. It's not making it better. It's not making it better. You under more surveillance and taking guns? So you got no guns and you're under more surveillance. That's where it's going. That's where it's going. Meanwhile, the Americans have all the technology and all the weapons and guns, stuff you don't even know about. This is what I need to do a video about. I'm going to do it one day. I keep talking about it. Them having all this technology, but not revealing it to your community. Now, these days, you remember back in the day, they would tell you all the stuff they got. They're not doing that anymore. And I am aware of that. When the last time something good, really innovative came out? Some real super cool technology. When the last time it happened? Cell phones? That's about it, right? Cell phones. Innovative cell phones. That's about the last time a big bang in technology happened, right? We could agree on that. Since then, what has happened? Think about it. And you know they got technology. They have begun to draw back on releasing it to the community for security purposes, because they don't know if you will use it against them. That's what it is. You think they ain't got no other kind of technology? Think about it. Remind you, there's always stuff that's being created that never meets the market, that they still can use. It never gets to the market. It never goes on the market. Okay? But they still can use it, though. The military has been using the internet since the 60s and 70s. See, some of y'all don't know that. The military been using the internet has been here way before the 80s. Definitely before the 80s. That whole time they had the internet. That's what I'm trying to show you, man. Go check. Go ask. They don't have it. The military was using it, and you don't know what they was doing. Now that you know the power of the internet to send emails at the speed of light, can you imagine what they was doing all those years? You don't know, do you? It's a mystery, isn't it? You don't know. We can't call it, can we? You can't say what they was doing with the internet all them years, all them decades. It was at least 2 decades of them of the military having the internet, and you don't know what they was doing. You don't know, do you? It's a mystery. So what you think they were just talking, communicating, friendly communication with other countries? Friendly communication with other countries. Okay. Okay. That's what I'm trying to show you, man. They're riding around like John Wayne using all their technologies that we don't know about. That's why some of them they make you can't stand them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. They walking around using technologies on their community like we don't know any better. See, God's going to reveal it to his spiritual people. He doesn't have us ignorant of nothing. I'm never slipping. You think so? I'm not. I'm not slipping, bro. You have technologies that no one knows about in our community that you're using against the mind and the psychology of the people. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And I know about it because I was already ready. The Holy Ghost revealed it to me. Okay, we are more innovative than you realize. You know, we're not dinosaurs. That religion is a dinosaur, not spirituality. Spirituality is always progressing, and spirituality is in the future and connected to the future. Okay, I am not slipping, bro. I am no dinosaur. I am more futuristic than all of y'all. Okay, then if you're more futuristic than me, then how come I told y'all about 43 states of child marriage? Okay, you so innovative and cultured in your community. How come you ain't know that? Cultured Americans, all you cultured Americans. How come you didn't know? How come you didn't know about all these child marriage laws? Just didn't know, did you? But you're cultured as can be, right? Concerning the American community, you're just as cultured as can be, right? But you didn't know you had child marriage laws. Now, how does that make you look as far as being cultured? That's what I'm saying. But you're more civilized and sophisticated than me, right? I'll let you call it. Go ahead. I'm the dinosaur, right? I'm a thing of the past, right? But you're not cultured and educated on your own country. That's why I showed you. The Christians are always necessary. We are always necessary. We're always necessary. Okay? Listen, with all your culturedness, if you will, you don't know they up here marrying children. Okay? Yeah, we on that. Had child marriage since 1957. Can't be serious. Okay? So just understand, man, we're heading towards being demonized as a community. And the technology that they have, all the stuff that they have, you're not aware of it. You don't know. You think you know. They're using all kind of stuff. They're using it. Let's put it like this. They're using it against you, not for you, not for your good. They're using it for illegal reasons of surveillance. Yes, yes, yes. They're fighting who they consider domestic enemies. Excuse me. And they're fighting people like me, who they just consider a threat. So that's just what it is. We don't know literally what all the technologies are, but they do have them, and they are using them against you as a community. They are using those technologies against you as a community. That's a fact, man. Okay? And you can sit here and buttercup the situation and be oblivious to what's going on and just be behind. They've been had these kind of phones we using. This is old too to them. They've been had these phones where you can touch screen and all of that and they've been had that, man. They've been had it. Okay, I had an invention that I came up with. I make inventions. Man, I went and looked online and found it. I'm not lying, man. I'm not one of those people who make up stories. You know what I'm saying? I had an invention for a hologram internet, like where you can hologram the internet, where you can put Facebook on a hologram and be like, and YouTube and everything, and the whole internet on the hologram. Man, they already have a hologram internet where you can touch the internet. Like I'm talking about, like where you could touch screen it. My invention was to be able to like have basically a phone internet where you can go online, YouTube, all the internet sites, and you can like hologram it. It's like a hologram. You can touch it like in the atmosphere like that, right? They already got that, bro. They already got that. They already have internet hologram. In fact, they probably have hologram internet altogether, like somewhere where they use hologram internet. They don't use the phones. They go on the internet without a laptop, a smartphone, or anything. They just hologram it, and they just go on the internet and touch it and like all of that, right? You can't fathom the thought of this, can you? Where things are hologram. You know what I'm saying? So it's just understanding, man. And so through holograms, they can astral project. You just don't understand. They can go into your reasoning, your understanding. They can go into the wiring of your mind. You know, many Christians are starting to catch on to where now they understand the hacking of brains, which still comes back down to mind technology, which I was talking about. And they can just go into the wirings of you as a person, you know, and through technologies. You know, and remember the Nazis had a lot of technology too. This is what I'm very educated. The Nazis had a lot of technology, all kind of big old machines and everything. They were not just stupid like these neo-Nazi bushwhack rednecks are. They were making all different type of technologies. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I'm not one of those delinquent type of guys in America, man. You know, you gotta differentiate me. You know what I'm saying? And like I said though, you know, this it's becoming a Nazi-like community, you know. And one of the first signs, one of the other things about it is it's attacking domestically. It's attacking the system in the community is attacking its own citizens. You can say civil war. I don't even say it's civil war because in civil war you're fighting for America. This is not a civil war because in the end of it, it won't be in America. People who are fighting are not fighting for it to be preserved. They have child marriage here in 43 states. We are not fighting. I'm not fighting as an American. Now has come the time for it to be done with altogether. That's not a civil war. That's a fight. That's a fight to this falls away, man. Because really, man, what people are starting to look at is that this could be a better world without America. I hate to say it, but it's true. If this was gone, imagine you're having fun, you think you are, but if like there was more, all the resources were spread around, and there was no like people like the people are here, you know, I think even the terrorists, like the different places would be like, I know they try to get people to believe everything right that they're doing. I know it's a lot of Muslims like that. But I believe that somehow the world will come to a good place where it's not like controlled by men like Americans. I feel like if Africans in Europe and all these other places work together, we would not have the problems that America brings the world. That's what I feel. Like they will not try to control the world. Russia would not try to control other people. They don't use that reasoning, right? Africa doesn't use that reasoning. You know, and the other people that do, I can't really, I have to sit down and really study their politics and what they're for and what they say. You know, all I know is, man, the only people that's running around here playing world police, as we know, we've heard this term many times before. And that's what the Americans are doing, playing world police, bro. Once again, even with the Russian and Ukrainian war, what is that? World police, once again. How many times have you heard people say that? America playing the world police. Man, the bottom line is this, bro. This is the reality that you don't want to accept. This is the reality, man. This is the real reality, man. And what you don't want to accept is America. America is just becoming something that, you know, you can't, that is not like it used to be. It's not what it has child marriage in it. It's not what you thought it was. It's not. You don't want to accept that reality. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. It's what it is, bro. It's what it is. And I just know that, you know, it's just no way in the world you can sit up here and tell me, okay, this country is going to go forward like this, dirty and shambles like this. It's not going to happen, bro. You know, it's just people playing too many games with the community, sitting up antagonizing people, playing games, and now I am starting to see it as other countries see it. I'm starting to see it like, man, they're right. These people are stupid and crazy. They're not gangsters. They're just nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like animal nuts. Like they don't have human reasoning. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sit down and I talk to my enemies all the time, which means even though I am on the attack, I have human reasoning. I reason properly according to what the situation is. You know, they don't do that. That's like a crazy person. You cannot reason with a crazy person. I don't care what you say. They don't understand it. They won't understand it. You can't reason with a crazy person. You know what I'm saying? That's true. If you find anybody to have a certain amount of reasoning, they are sound-minded because you can hear their reasoning. And that's why I know the difference between smart people, stupid people, and crazy people. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have no sense of reasoning, that's what I listen to. You can sound like a nut. You can sound like you're raging all the time. But if you make any points of reasoning, then I have to esteem you as sound-minded because you're able to reason with understanding, and you're using empathy and apathy in the situation and understanding. You're using those things. You're using your conscience when you're reasoning. You know what I'm saying? And so when you find people that don't reason, you can't reason with them, I don't esteem them as sound-minded people. When I hear somebody's reasoning and their reasoning, you know, then okay, boom. Okay. Now I'm getting to the feelings of the person. You feel the heart, the soul of the person, the mind, when they start when you start reasoning. You know what I'm saying? When you hear no reasoning and they don't have any reasoning, then you know you're dealing with almost people who have resulted to being subhuman. They did it to themselves. They became subhuman. They mutated themselves into subhuman living. And they have no one else to blame for that state that they're in. You know what I'm saying? So while you might esteem me as some type of crazy person or domestic terrorist type of person, that's not what it is, man. What it is, man, you know, people play with my life. They play games, and I stood up for myself and I took care of myself. That's my reasoning in this situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. People play with me. What I supposed to do? They used to black people laying down and taking the games that they play, bro. And I just didn't do it. You should have knew my generation was coming. A generation that would not take anything off of no white Americans. or anybody else that's following them. I don't care who it is. And that's my reasoning, bro. Like, you should have knew somebody was like me was coming after all that they done to black people. And if anybody, I'm not justifying terrorism, but if in America, if anybody's justified for being a terrorist, it would be a black person. Well, look at all you did to his family. Everybody don't forgive like that. I know you think everybody do, but if there were terrorists here, it would specifically here in America, it would make sense for it to be black people. I mean, what else? What other race was going to be like that? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just all understanding things, man. That's why understanding is very important. The Bible says, in all you're getting, get understanding. Because if you don't understand things, you don't perceive them properly. You know what I'm saying? Understanding helps you to perceive things and people properly. If you don't have understanding, it's everything everything you are informed of is in vain, because you don't properly perceive the things around you and people around you properly. You know, and that's all it is. I'm not like I'm defending myself for what it is. Now, you can misunderstand the situation, which means you misperceive the situation, but that's your fault. When I've explained it to you, I've totally broke it down to you. Now, you can choose their narrative and what they talk about, but then you can look at all the other contradictions too, and you can really look at it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to come to terms with the fact that really America have just become another fallen empire. You know what I'm saying? Another empire that's doing evil, that's doing wrong, and and their time has come to fall. You know what I'm saying? And that's just basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? We can sit up here and play games, you know what I'm saying? Or you can be 100. You know what I'm saying? I know everything they doing. They are not fooling me. They never have been. They never have been fooling me. Trust that. They never have. That's why I've never slipped. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm still standing and I'm still going to war. I am. You know what I'm saying? When I stop going to war, then you can say you beat. You can say you won. You deceived me. You have never knocked me off of my position. Me specifically. Okay? You haven't done that. I've always still been here doing what I do. You know what I mean? And I'm just ahead of everybody. You'll be like me. As the days go by, you'll be all of you will be more like me. I'm just a prophet, and I'm ahead of everybody. You know what I'm saying? As time goes by, the days go by, you're gonna see. You're gonna be more and more convinced of what I'm talking about. All this stuff, child marriage and all of this, everything, all the stuff they doing, you have to come to terms with it's not the America that you thought it was. What you fail to realize is just not the real America that you've been told. You've been told America is not what it projected itself to be. You got child marriage here. How can how can you say it's this country that you projecting it to be with child marriage? It's still America you thought it was. Man, come on, man. Look, that's what it's becoming, man. And all I can say is that God is with his people. You know what I'm saying? But you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't sit up here and bring up a million years of something, of something that happened, and you're doing all kind of stuff with the police having sex with the children here in New York. I can show you. I can show you all that's going on, and nothing you're talking about makes sense. Okay? Because according to your contradictions, who would you be to sit up and stand up and talk about anything? That's what I'm trying to show you. The reason why I'm doing it, because I am a prophet, which means I was born to be this way. I was born to be a prophet. I was born to speak about what's going on in all these things. What are you doing? You're going around talking about stuff you didn't see happen. You don't know happen. People despise people like that, especially when you come to find out to have no evidence of any of this stuff. Now you're really despised. Now you're trying to make it work. It doesn't work, bro. All you're going to do is try to use people human imperfections to try to say, to point to the thing that you're talking about. It's not going to work either, because people understand what your manipulation. You're trying to manipulate human imperfection to fit the narrative of somebody being some type of deviant when a person is just inhuman. I mean, the person is just imperfect. That's going to be regardless. You're going to be an imperfect person regardless. No one has a perfect brain, do they? So everyone has perfect thoughts. You're lying.